You can now seek the stars with Conan's new Celestial Scholar bundle, but you're going to need some astronomical wealth because, by the heavens, this bundle is expensive. Is it worth your hard-earned money? Well, today we're going to find out. Firstly, a disclaimer, this set was gifted to me by Funcom. Just like all my other reviews, that will in no way affect my opinions of this set, nor will it affect my recommendation or lack thereof. So without further ado, let's get started. The Celestial Scholar bundle comes in at 3,346 Crom coins, roughly $27.88, so we'll call it $28. The bundle includes the following: the Corinthian writing desk, the Corinthian chair, a hanging lamp, a carpet, a bookcase, a scholar statue, a telescope, a curtain, and a star chart. There's a lot to cover, so let's begin with the desk. The Corinthian writing desk is a hip-height desk, a little larger than the Aquilonian writing desk. It's incredibly detailed with golden accents and astral-themed displays, alongside Corinthian patterns and what seems to be a zodiac-like symbol in the centre. It's made of marble, wood and stone, with the main colour themes of red, white and blue with wood and golden accents. It costs 30 stone to make and is generally a pretty nice looking table that stands out from most other tables in the game. Overall, a pretty snazzy design. The Corinthian chair is a small, hip-height chair, a little smaller than the base game comfortable chair. It pairs very well with the writing desk, bearing much of the same hallmarks with red, blue and wood as the main colours, with a white secondary and gold accents. The chair also has a backrest with an astral design. The chair costs 6 shape wood and 4 hide to craft and overall is pretty nice. A little smaller than I would have liked. I think a taller and rounded back, alongside just a higher seat in general, would have been a much more attractive approach. I also really don't like the wear on the arms, legs and backrest. I think the model should be much cleaner. Fairly good, although it does feel like it should be in better visual condition. The Corinthian hanging lamp is a 5-post chandelier with thick red candles and a central bracket which holds an armillary sphere. The light level is about medium and is generally quite a regal take on the chandelier design without being too over the top. The lamp costs 20 iron bars to craft and overall is quite nice. I do wish the armillary sphere actually moved. I think that would have added a lot to the placeable, and I would have just preferred the light to be a bit brighter given that this lamp is pretty large. It also does have quite a generous collision box. Not bad, but unfortunately dimmer than expected. The Corinthian carpet is a medium-sized carpet, a little smaller than the Aquilonian DLC one, and bears a pretty striking image of 2 scholars against a field of stars with a zodiac symbol in the centre, similar to that on the writing desk. The carpet comes in at 30 plant fibre to craft, which is pretty cheap, and it's quite colourful with a white, red and blue colour scheme with gold accents. My only issue with this item are the creases in the carpet. I really don't like these in any carpets that have them. Overall fairly good, but I'd much prefer it to be laid perfectly flat. The Corinthian bookcase is a fairly large freestanding bookcase at the height of about a player and a half. The design is stunning, packed with books and bordered by red and white stone with a large blue astral diagram above the shelving. The bookcase costs 40 wood, 50 stone and 10 iron bars to make and uses the variable placement system to cycle between different book layouts. The back panel also has an intricate golden diagram laid on wood, which is quite nice. A very attractive bookcase, but for the level of intricacy here, I would have liked to see it without the imperfections like the wear on the columns and the cracking on some of the masonry. Overall quite nice, but the slight visual wear on the design does let it down a bit. The Corinthian scholar statue is a display of a bearded scholar holding an armillary sphere in his hands, and the statue stands about a head's height taller than the average player. The statue costs 125 stone and 40 iron bars to craft, and has a fairly nice red, white and blue colour scheme alongside a similar metal on the armillary that is found on the hanging lamp. The statue is pretty nice. I would have preferred it bigger, but that's just me. I know some wouldn't like it much bigger than it is, so it's a bit of a catch-22. The level of detail on the scholar himself is a bit low, especially on the face, which is exacerbated when compared to the armillary. The statue is nice, but the differences in the level of detail do make it look a bit funky, and again the statue has some visual damage that I think takes away from the design. The Corinthian telescope is a large placeable telescope on a plinth, about 2 players tall at the very apex. It's beautifully designed with a nice column and an intricate asymmetrical support bracket on the telescope barrel, and costs 125 stone and 40 iron to craft. The telescope comes with an emote that can be used by players or thralls and allows you to bend down to the eyepiece as if looking through it. However, in first or third person, that's all it does. You don't actually see anything through the telescope. Despite the lovely design, this is a big missed opportunity. The telescope can't move or actually look at anything, and whilst I don't claim to know the logistics of moving the player's camera to actually look through the telescope itself, I am unfortunately quite disappointed with it. The Corinthian curtain is a large curtain piece placed against the wall. It costs 40 wood and 50 silk to craft and is nicely designed with intricate patterns across the top, a striking red and white colour scheme with gold and blue accents, and an impressively detailed curtain pole too. It also has a very generous collision box allowing a large degree of overlap. The curtain is nice, but it's a little too big, I think. It's almost exactly 2x2, which means it's quite easy to accidentally clip the bottom of the curtains into the floor. Again, I think this is a big missed opportunity to not have these curtains animate. It was missed in the Decketo DLC curtains, and it's missed here too. Nice design, but a little too big, and some animation would have really helped. Finally, the star chart. This is a placeable decoration that is roughly a little smaller than the writing desk, and displays a large scroll with a similar design to the panel on the back of the bookshelves. It also has a few scrolls laid nearby and is designed to, well, map the stars. The star chart costs 10 plant fibre to make, and there's not really much else to say about it. It's nice and it will work well in the context of a library or observatory, but it's not breathtaking. Overall, decent. As for bugs, I did see a bug report of the Corinthian bookcases not displaying their books when logging into an official server, and it seems to be that this effect can swap between bookcases on logging out and then back in. This was not an issue for me on single player, so I assume it only affects online play. Pretty significant bug really, seeing as the whole point of the bookcases is to showcase the books, and it's not what you want to see in any bundle, but most certainly not at this price point. So, final opinions. Do I recommend this bundle or not? Well, you may notice I've been quite picky in terms of the fine details, a little more so than usual, and for good reason. If you're going to charge almost $30 for a decorative bundle, everything has got to be perfect, and this set just isn't. The designs are generally nice, and they work well together, but what were they thinking? I actually thought the price was a typo at first. I don't see this bundle as any more prestigious than any of the other $20 placeable bundles, so I don't know what warrants the price increase. There's very little function here, no animation on pieces that I think by any right should have them, and even worse, there's a significant bug with the bookcases, which is something I imagine most people will be attracted by. So, do I recommend it? At this price point, absolutely not. To be fair, I wouldn't recommend it at $20 either, but nearly $30 is outrageous. I try and avoid hyperbole or sensationalism here and do my best to keep things fair and balanced, but there is no other way to describe this bundle. The pricing is outrageous for seemingly very little function outside of an emote on the telescope, which doesn't even do what you'd want it to do. Yeah, it's a very strong no from me. Outside of the bookcase bug, the designs are alright, they're quite visually nice, and the cohesiveness between the set is also really appreciated, but as is becoming the prevailing trend, while the designs may be nice, the price is not. Anyway, that about wraps us up for today with my review of the new Celestial Scholar bundle. Nice designs, but way off in pricing with a disappointing bug, and to be frank, a lack of innovation on the pieces that could really use it. Thank you for watching, and of course a massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Make sure you subscribe for more Conan reviews, guides, builds, news, lore videos and more. Take care, and I'll see you soon.